Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Brothers, sisters and friends, welcome back to this very serious topic today, which is a claim made by the young Muslims, which is my parents led me to Zina. My guests, just to remind you, I have Muhammad Ali Hashim and Ali Dawa. These are brothers that are out there, brothers and sisters. They're mixing with the young brothers. They know what's out on the street, and they have very, heard very personal accounts of where this has been taking place, subhanAllah. So before the break, we had some, not examples, but we spoke about some of the reasons why this is happening. And it's from two perspectives. It's like from the youth themselves, the claims they're making, and also from the parents who have a good reason sometimes not to let their children marry marry certain individuals. So what we're going to do in the second half, actually, we are going to talk about some actual accounts. And at the same time, the telephone number is on the screen, and I'd like you to phone in if you have not just a suggestion, because at the end of this, we want a solution as well. We want to hear the solutions from you. And also, if you have been affected by this topic as well, then it'd be good to hear from you. So what we can do, Mohammed, let's start with you then, inshallah. Let's maybe hear one of the accounts that you've come across.
There's the one I was going to mention before the break was about an Afghanistani brother, and this is something which I've seen quite a lot in the Afghani communities from Afghan youth. I've heard of sisters being kicked out of their homes because they don't accept to marry who their parents have told them to marry, and this brother who actually ran away from his house and subhanAllah, he ran away from the country because he was getting away from his dad, because he refused to marry the sister whom his dad, who was actually a family friend, also a business partner to his dad, and it was like, you're going to bring shame to the family if you don't marry his sister. The dad literally wanted to whatever, and he left the country. He's now actually, funny enough, he went to Dubai, and then from Dubai he went to Hong Kong, and he now works as an English teacher.
Wow.
Teaching English because he's trying to get away from his dad because of this very serious issue where he's not having that choice, or he's not,
So even after all this time, he has to stay away from
He has to stay away from his dad. There's this issue of you've brought shame to the family. Do you know what I mean? You have issue where there's a situation where I was on the phone to a brother about 2-3 weeks ago. And, I was, subhanAllah, may Allah make it easy for the brother. He said to me, Akhi, make dua for me. And I was like, what's wrong? He goes, I've recently just broke up with someone. And basically, long story cut short, they actually wanted to marry each other. Complications happened from the family side. That he, if I remember correctly, it was made difficult for them to actually marry. So then they stayed in contact without the family's acknowledgement. And then later on, they tried again to do things through the family, the correct way and whatnot. And even then, it hadn't worked out. So he was like, Akhi, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. Like, I fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, she fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, trying to do things the right way, but, it's just not happening. So what do I do? And I was like, Akhi, like, we hear this quite a lot. And subhanAllah, I didn't know at the time, like, what to say to him except for, bro, just fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do you know what I mean? And the same thing, you don't love her enough to take her Jahannam. So fear Allah for her. Fear the punishment of Allah for her. Because you know where this is going to end for you, and you know where this is going to end for her. And qadar Allah, things don't work out. There's many, I've spoken to my shaykh, we've all been through proposals which haven't gone our way, and I've spoken to my shaykh, and you'll be surprised, the amount of my shaykh who say, Akhi, I've gone through this. Like, when I was young, there was a sister. It's very common. The mashaykh that say, there was a sister who I had interested in, and it turned into a fitna, and it's best to just back up. You put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before anyone and anything else in both your life and theirs.
So Ali, what's going to get a young couple, what's going to prevent them from taking those steps because of the fact that their parents are stopping them?
To be honest, like, sometimes I get lost for words. I get brothers asking me, Aki, what should I do? He's asking me, I'm stuck. I don't know, what can I tell him apart from, Aki, fear Allah, try to fast. Like, I'm lost for words. I don't know what to say to him because there's no option. He's like a brother messaged me. He's like, look, I'm gonna fall into zina. What should I do? I want to get married. My parents said no. It has to be this from this our culture, this that. So I get stuck. I don't know what to say. When you've made the religion of Allah so hard, I don't know what to say to the guy. Your parents are not listening to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who am I? Like, what can I say to you, Aki? It's really a matter that's so important. And like I said before, it's, you know, the parents are just really, really making it hard. It's very simple. If you see like the society that we're living in is all sexualized, so you should acknowledge that as a parent and think to yourself, how can I cater to make this good for them, both of them, and they obviously listen to me, obey me as well, in the best way possible. You know, maybe a righteous brother might come. Okay, maybe there's something you didn't like about that brother. Let's say, for example, that's calm. Okay, well, we respect that as parents. You have that say. You know, your parents, you want the best for your children. Sure. But the problem comes in when you say, put the deen of Allah to a side, my culture comes first. My grandparents said this, so this is where the problem lies. You know, that's why it's really important to cater for them. You see the problem, okay, zina is out there, people are doing it. How can I protect my child from that? Explain to them the things about zina, etc. But cater for them. Say, look, so are you ready to get married? Talk to them. Yes, okay, look, how about you finish your uni or this, that, etc. And then next year we'll start looking for someone for you, or you know. But
sadly, there's a certain taboo attached to that, like especially like because the father, he's going to be the one he's the wali for that that child, the girl. And you know, but there's a certain taboo maybe about them having that conversation, maybe
with the mother, whoever you're close to. Let your mother talk on behalf. That's what usually happens. Talk to your mum will talk to your dad. You know, but that's the thing. If people are scared to talk to their parents, well, don't worry, they've got bad friends. They'll go to them. If you're not gonna if it's gonna be a taboo subject, which is halal, if you're gonna make a halal subject a taboo thing, then they'll go to their friends and talk about zina all day long.
And the children, they can't actually find the ability to speak to their parents. In a lot of cases, they can't refer back to them because they fear the consequence, they fear the response. And sometimes the parents, they do this thing where they put, you know, extreme conditions, where like. But yeah, they put extreme conditions where it's not going to happen. And don't bring this up again. And just completely lock off everything.
Let me throw another question in, another sentiment or feeling from a parent. Many parents will say, the kids are just blaming, they're just blaming the parents. It's just like a cop-out or an excuse so they can go out and enjoy themselves. So how would you respond to that? But what the parents are saying basically is that we come from good family stock. We're only asking you to be patient and just wait, go through university or so on and so forth. Just keep your loins, you know, to yourself, and you know, just be patient. But
patient for what? Like the thing is, the individual opposite you is not a robot. Like you're telling them, let me program you. I'll press this code in, and then you'll wait 5 years. It doesn't work like that. You're out in society. You've got things like seriously, the society that we live in. On the floor, you can't forget lowering your gaze. There's not lowering your gaze anymore, you know, because on your phone, everywhere you look, there's fitna. So this is, you're exposed to this. So what we're saying is, let's find a solution. You know, speak to your child. If your child knows that he or she can speak to you, and you can find a solution to it and say, look, okay, how long you got for university? 2 years. About a year and a half later, we'll start looking for someone for you. If there's anyone you have in mind, the halal way, not going out there, hi, I met this guy. Do you get it? Not like that. You found it. Cater for them. This is what we're saying, you know, because they're going to have these urges. This is human nature. Find it a halal way of doing it. And to be honest, another thing is like the children are like, okay, like the parents are like, you need to have a house, you need to do this, you need to do that. What we're saying is, look, and a lot of people are out there in haram relationships, we're saying, make that halal. Whatever you're doing, we want to put the title which of halal. You can still, like, the thing is, and it's hard, but this is where you need to compromise. This is where you need to show Allah that His deen comes first, instead of your culture or your grandparents, whatever. You're going to say, you know what? If I fear my daughter is going to go in a haram relationship, let me make it halal. You don't need to live together. Can't they is it compulsory for them to live in the same household?
Do you know?
Eventually you should, but the thing is, make it halal. Then eventually, at least you know that's your son-in-law. They are married. It's all halal. Then you can say, okay.
There's a beauty. Sorry, there's a beauty to that, what you just said there, because even I myself, mashallah, you know, both of my daughters are married, alhamdulillah, and I have children. So it was really touch and go for me as a parent as well.
Yeah.
However, what happened is, you know, because within my community, Allah made it very easy that He presented two really beautiful young men for my daughters, and at that time, I found that I'm not letting these get away.
Yeah.
So even myself, I gave them the opportunity. I said, look, I trust you. You come from good family stock. If you want to marry my daughter, you can marry my daughter, even if you can't support her right now, and even if you can go and spend time together. You're going to be together halal.
Yes, yes.
And in both cases, they were like, nah, I want to do this properly. I'm going to support my wife, and it was fantastic.
Exactly.
But that is a possible solution, Ali. But however, and sorry to cut you on this one again, Mohammed, there's a very important thing to be aware of, and what that is what I'm calling here the boyfriend-girlfriend trap. What that is that, for example, you allow a young couple to get married, but if their mentality is not marriage, then that means that there is no chance whatsoever of that relationship lasting.
Yeah, you're right.
No, I've had an actual experience with someone who was married young. These two people, they liked each other, they married young, they, you know, lived together as a married couple, they even had a child together. Long story cut short, she ran away. She didn't want to be with him anymore. She just ran away, and she ended up falling into Jahiliyyah. And she was like, I got married too young. I was like, you know, yeah, I liked him. Yes. Yeah, we had this relationship, but it wasn't one that to get married and commit and do all this kind of stuff.
Would you say that's because maybe rather than having their head in the Deen, focused on the Deen, they're focused on, as you mentioned earlier on, cinema and stuff like that?
Of course. What we're saying is very simple. We're saying if your child is from the age of 14 to 17, 18, 19, it's your responsibility. Like I would say, okay, I respect you as parents. You have to teach them what zina is, why to stay away from it. Not zina is haram, don't do it. Why don't do it? Explain to them
what to look for as well.
Yes, of course. Once you, from that age gap, this is your duty, because that's the mentality. They're naive. They don't know what's going on. A guy comes and says sweet words, ooh, you know, he's Romeo, he loves me, you know, all this kind of stuff going on. So what we're saying is that's what you need to do. Once they start like thinking to themselves 19, 20, 21, this is where the duty of the parents come in. We're not saying, okay, your child is 16 years old coming up to you and saying, I want to get married. If that was my child, I'll say, look, just sit yourself down, have a piece of cake, calm down a bit, you know what I'm saying? You will tell them about that. But what we're seeing is as they gradually get older, now you've protected them from zina with permission of Allah, telling them what zina is, blah, blah, blah. Once they've reached the age of marriage, now we're saying don't make it hard for them. Now, you've told them to be patient, they've been patient, let's find solutions to the problem now. That's what we're saying.
It's like a theory. It's like the theory and practical stage of things. Yeah. So you're showing them the theory of how to get married, who to get married to, what to look for. Yes. And we know that in the Quran, you know, the good is for good and the bad is for bad and all this kind of stuff. This is all the theory into it. Yeah. What you should be and what you should look for, and how you should go about doing it. What you should protect yourself from, and what you should allow and not allow. Then reaches the point where it all gets real. This turns into like that window for marriage, or that thought of marriage opens up in your mind. And that's it. You say, I want to get married. Now, one thing that we don't realize is when things get real, are they actually going to implement the correct way or the bad way? Now, forgive me for saying so, you need to protect your children. If you don't protect your children, they will. Shaitan did not promise to, you know, trick Adam and Hawa, Adam and Eve. But he promised to deceive, to trick, and to make mankind like deviate, go astray. Do you know what I mean? So you have Shaitan working day and night, overtime, just trying to get people away from it. And we know that shubuhat and shahawat, the doubts and the desires. Now desires in the youth is something that they have grown up seeing all around them. Every single, I don't know, if you can name me a film, a college film, a university film, a youth film, a comedy that doesn't have some form of relationships. You know, even things like, not that I've seen it, but things like Hannah Montana and all these kind of stuff. I'm sure there are, not that I've seen it, but I'm sure there are relationships and all these kind of...
It's a given, it's a given.
Do you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff is inevitable that they will have that kind of stuff incorporated in them.
They're being programmed to do it the haram way. We're saying reprogrammed to do it the halal way. If they're in haram, do you get it? We're just saying reprogram them, whatever they're programmed in their head.
Fantastic. Listen, because we're going to come quite close to the end of the show, do we have any success stories of young couples who are married and maybe still...
Yes, because I just
And
remembered
we've only
now.
got a minute left as well,
Yeah,
Ellie, so let's do this.
yeah. And funny enough, nobody called because it's a topic. I think they're even shocked. They're like, you know, I've got nothing to say to this. You know, the thing is, I know a brother, mashallah, may Allah bless him. When I first came to Islam, Palmer Square Masjid, I met him. Amazing brother, mashallah, revert. I think he's half Jamaican, if I'm not mistaken. Alhamdulillah, this is what I loved about, you know, when I see this, when I go out on the streets, when I see a British white brother with a Somalian sister, or the way, I love it. Wallahi, I just love seeing that. And this brother is like, I went with him when he asked, I think if I'm not mistaken, to the wedding. And the family's Pakistani and he's half Jamaican. And I was amazed, like they treated him like their own son. And alhamdulillah, you know, everything was done the halal way, and their marriage, alhamdulillah, is beautiful. I just loved it.
So sorry to cut you on this one because that is it. SubhanAllah, we've run out of time.
But next week?
Next week we're going to revisit this, right? So brothers and sisters, we will be back on this same topic, inshallah. So we're going to have, as I said before, a video you can look, watch, SubhanAllah, and hopefully you can, it will move you enough that you can, you know, give some input to that as well. We're going to find solutions, okay? We're going to look at more examples, but this is a topic that must be addressed again. Make sure you join us again next week, inshallah. So I'd like to thank Muhammad and Ali and the rest of the crew here as well for helping us with this very important topic. Jazakallah khair for joining us. We're going to leave you now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.